Where I come from, when I stand up, people clap hands. I don't know about you guys. If you don't, like, it's okay. You can be jealous, it's okay. But at least for tonight, don't be jealous, ne? When you hear a point, just snap your fingers or do something. You're allowed, ne? I know. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Okay, let's do an exercise quickly, ne? Let's just say hello, hello, hello. Ne? When I say hello, 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 I want you to respond back to me, ne? By saying hello, hello, hello. And then just follow my lead, ne? Hello, hello, hello. 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 Better, much better. Thank you so much. Can you clap hands for yourselves? Already you have achieved something. All right, great stuff. By name, my name is Thabang Phala. He has said that I have a long CV, but today I come as a development practitioner. I just want to thank the leadership of MED for inviting me. Maybe MED Youth, you call MED is like going crazy, but I just want to thank the leadership of MED, Abuti, Stan, and also our Naledi for the opportunity to share some of the lessons that I've learned as a development practitioner. What is a development practitioner? My work is pretty simple. I go to the community and I create programs that help people to become better people. Cool, eh? So essentially, you just go to the community, develop programs that empower people so that they can take advantage of the economy, take advantage of opportunities within business, within the employment sector, and every other things. I've established a number of organizations in the past, but my work cuts across a lot of things. So that's about me from an IT side of things for training and development. I do a whole lot of those things, media relations. I also had a TV show. It only did season 1, and then I stopped. I need season 2. So I had, on the TV show, I had a lot of politicians and business people, Hemen Mashabas, Bo Bonamuhale, and the likes. If you go on YouTube and search for Abuti Rem's show, you'll be able to see that show. So that's about me, because some people want to know. I know you guys, you are very finicky about profiles, when you introduce people. So I just did this for you, not for me. This is just for you. Yeah, because I know your church likes this profile things. But what is on the agenda for today? We're going to be looking at why should we even have this chat about mental health. It's important. If we haven't even addressed the why, we would never even get to what are the issues as well. Number 2, we're going to be looking at what must we know about it. What must you know about this mental health, especially for men? Number 3, we're going to look at what is the response of the church. What should the church do, actually? Because we are in the church setup and young people are here, and we need to then find out, as the future leaders of this church, what should we do? And if we don't start now from MED, we'll never win when we are elders and deacons and everything that you guys like, ne? You like those positions. One day you aspire to be a deacon, ne? Serious? Okay. I didn't know. Yeah, but at the core of it is servanthood. I always like to stress this. But why are we having this chat, actually? Because number 1, mental health is crucial for an overall well-being that is affecting what? How we think, how we feel, and how we act. So how we feel, how we think, and how we act. It is important for us to have a mental wellness, right? Because our thoughts, remember the Bible, what it says is that guard your hearts, ne? But other translations, they say guard your minds, right? Because out of it comes what? The issues of life. So life comes from thoughts. So it then says that you must hang around with people who are going to help you to become critical thinkers. So you must hang around with people who are going to push you to become better. But if you don't hang around people who think smart, who think wise, no issues of life that are important, that are life advancing, will ever come out of your head, because you're hanging with the wrong people. You know this chat. You go to church, right? You hear it a lot, right? But essentially why we have to learn about this thing is because it affects how we think, how we act with people, and how we feel about life and its issues, right? So number 2, we're looking at how it influences the way we handle stress, and also how we relate to making the decisions that we make in life. There's a book by, I forgot that lady now, she's a preacher. It speaks about how to make a decision. And it was tailored mainly for women, but I would like to actually also recommend it to other people. I'll get you the name of that lady. I think Joyce Meyer, yeah. How to make a decision. It's important that we need to learn the art of making decisions, because a lot of people don't know how to make decisions. And that's why, as young people, we fall prey to a lot of things that are affecting our lives in a very wrong way. So we need to learn on how to make decisions. So making decisions, it's important when we have a good mental well-being, right? So this is why we're having this chat, right? And why is it crucial for men? Well, men often face the most unique challenges. Why are they unique actually? Because they speak to the social expectations that society has. And there's a stigma that men need to be the strong people who cannot go through depression, oppression, suppression, and compression. And all the presses that happen in life, right? We have a high expectation of men. And this is unfortunate because we are deemed to be like some superior beings of some sort. Yes, as God has given us a role of leadership in families and in homes. But can I just get gentlemen who say that I'm also a man, I'm also a human being? Who believes that they are a human being? If you believe that you're a human being, you are also a human being, right? And as a human being, you go through the emotions. You go through hurt, pain, rejection, bao dampa, and you will cry, or bao hana, bao reject, or something. There's a lot of things that actually go through how men also experience being a human being. And it's important for us to also address those issues as well. So there's a social expectation and high one on men to perform at a specific level. And there's that stigma that is making us to continue to do that. But also, by discussing these issues, then we can promote better understanding and support, and also encourage people who are in need of the mental support. Maybe, let me not even ask if there's somebody who needs mental support right now, because maybe you guys won't even raise your hands because the social stigma that I'm talking about, because maybe you will just raise it like this. Ne? But you know that you need support. You know that you need somebody to talk to, right? I'm one person. By the way, in this room as well, I don't know if you welcomed people who came here, visitors and stuff like that. I've got two visitors who came. Those are my colleagues. There's Hosea from the back. Hosea, can you please just stand up or just raise your hand? That is Hosea Rampekwa. Hosea is one of the top writers in the country, sport journalist who is an award-winning author, written many books, 3 books here. Oh yes, you got it. And it's just a privilege for me to have him in my office every day. Like it's like an honor, like having somebody like who used to write for like all these big publications. I think if you say Hosea Rampekwa on Google, you just see. Sometimes you don't know the face, you see the names like, oh, okay. So that is Hosea Rampekwa. And then also I've got Isaac as well there, and Isaac is also a colleague of ours from the office as well. But we call him Major, not Major One. Ne? Maybe he's number 2 or something, but we call him Major from the office. But yeah, so basically, it's important for you to have like a support structure, that people who can encourage you. At some point where I know I'm at my lowest, I go and tell Jose, I tell my other friends and say, hey guys, it's Yakala. This week is hard. Like, I would expect people who have gone through some hardships on a Friday to come and just say, guys, please pray for me. It's Yakala. It's really tough. And I think we need to create that kind of a environment where men are able to talk and speak about some of these things. Men go through a lot of economic stress. Yeah, that age is personal. Age. The financial pressure that you need to deliver, Where did we get the stigma? Where did we get? Can somebody just open the Bible quickly from their phone? Ne? I want us to read Proverbs chapter 31. Ne? When did we say that men are providers? Can I just want to, somebody quickly, Proverbs 31. Let's go, my leader. Let's start from verse 1. All right. Okay, let's get a woman, actually. Amanda. Away to. Oh, I thought I was going to get away to. Wow, okay. Women don't have amandla. Ma'am, go ahead.
Proverbs 31 verse 1. Following the words of wisdom which King Lumiel's mother taught him, O my son, the son of my womb, you are the answer to my prayers. Listen to what I have to say. Don't give all your strength to women or spend all your energy on sex.
All right. I like that.
That has
Wait. Let's pause there. Let's go to verse 10. Let's try verse 10. Let's go down.
who
You
can
feel like it from there. You heard it from that part, ne? Yeah, it's fine. Let's go down. 10. Quickly.
who can find a wife of noble character? She is worth more than the costliest jewels. Her husband has confidence in her abilities.
Yeah.
He will never be poor.
Wait. Who? The husband will never be.
Poor.
Oh, okay. Not her, ne? The husband. Okay. Let's continue.
All her life she will do him good and will never do anything to harm him. She supplies her house with wool and linen and does her work.
Wait. Oh, she's the one who supplies her house with. I'm not. Am I? No. Am I reading the same Bible that you are reading? Ne? Okay. Let's go, Mama.
She supplies her home with food brought by her.
So this wife is the one that is providing food. Okay.
From all over the world. She rises while it is still dark to lay out the day's food for the family and plan the day's work for her servant girls. She looks at some land and buys it.
Some land. Oh, she even is a landowner. Let's pause there. We are fine. I think we got the revelation here. So Amanda to women, Amanda. Bible. No, and you sure you said you are Proverbs 31 virtuous woman. That's the woman that we're talking about. Right? So now what is the relationship between men and women? Women are the ones who provide. Okay, guys, I'm not kidding. It's the Bible. I wish I was lying. I wish you guys didn't open your Bibles because the Bible is very clear. No? What? Yeah. We'll talk about the other men. Yeah, we'll talk about the other men as time goes on. But there's a huge pressure that is put on men for financial responsibility. But did you know that also women have a financial responsibility? It's there. It's not me, guys. Ne? But this pressure that is put on men, it creates anxiety. Some of you always say that, I'm anxious. I've got anxiety. Like a lot of women nowadays, I've got anxiety. Do you know what is anxiety? Like, you guys don't know what is anxiety. Wait until you get a financial pressure. You'll know what is anxiety, depression, and stress. And by the way, those things are different. Sister Lydia, I think you are the one who explains those things better. Ne? There's a difference between depression and stress. Yeah, depression is the high state. That's what I know. Yeah, if you are on level 1, it's like that. Who watched Dragon Ball Z? Is that advanced level? Yeah, it's Goku level. Depression is Goku level. So essentially, that's that. Because if we then don't do that, we will not. If we do not put pressure, what we then can do is to encourage and help men to get help and to seek support from other men. But we'll talk about these things as well as time goes on. So there's issues that a lot of men don't get access to, mental health services. For instance, let's talk about it. Let's be frank. If right now I have a situation where a woman beat me up and I go to the police station, do you think, he just said it. Is that the world that you want to live in where there's no equality that you are fighting for as men and women? Because there's no equality. If I get to a place where I need to get help and I'm being laughed at, I'm being mocked for being in a vulnerable state, is that a good world that we're creating? No. But we're encouraging it. Yeah, let them go. They must suffer. We've been suffering for so long, But there's importance that we need to be, putting into this thing of get professional help. You know, I always encourage people, just go, like go to a therapist. And guys, let me tell you, there is Bosanka, there is what you call, what's the other one? Lifeline. Lifeline gives you about 6 sessions for free, where you can go and sit with a person who listen to you and dissect all your problems, and then and tell you where your problems are and where they started, and then how you can find solutions to that. 6 sessions, 1 hour each session, free of charge. Did you know that? Some of you didn't know, ne? Because in church we don't teach you these things, I get it? Because we just think that, no, let's come pray for you. Sometimes it's not my demon, it's not demons, ne? It's just these things that we need to be dealing up and talking about, right? And it's important. There are no lot of local resources that are there for men, because men, you know, are always rejected in society right now. And that's why now I'm speaking from the men's side. Nalidi was speaking from a holistic point of view, but now I'm speaking from a men's side. There are no local resources. If you go to your community right now, show me a place of refuge for men. I knew it. Exactly. Let's go. There's also workplace mental health. Ne? How many of you go to work, have a job, 9 to 5? The pressure, ne? The pressure of delivery. You work in advertising, yeah? In a creative agency. They will tell you, you must deliver, and the client wants something, a bed that flies like this, it does what, and there's a deadline for it, and they have a small budget. You know those issues. You woke up 4 a.m. to work. How does that feel?
Today.
You woke up today, and today you are here. You have the energy. Did you drink something?
Yeah.
And I think that's why maybe creatives and people who are in the entertainment and creative space, they start, you know those things, right? Don't act like you don't know because you're in church. You know these things. I'm being honest. And that's why they prey into some of these things, because there's a lot of pressure from work, you know? So you want to secure your job. The issue of job security. If I don't, they're gonna get somebody else. I don't meet my KPIs. You know, those type of things. There's pressure. If you are working for a company, the client wants you to deliver, but you have 3 clients and they all want you to deliver. You know, it's those things. There's pressure, and that gives you, you know, a lot of those issues that you have, like stress. You know, from work and its impact on mental health that we spoke about. And then, but we need to look at the tips of managing the workplace, you know, stress that is there. And we're going to talk about those things on a later stage. Social expectations and stigma. We've mentioned this once, that there's societal pressures that are there, but the community support that we need to be doing. What is the role of family in mental health for men? What is the social support? We need, you know, I always tell, sorry, I'm going to make an example with you. I always tell him that I admire his family, you know. They are the most supportive family structure, you know. When somebody is down, they pick them up. They pick each other up. Like, you know, and I know we come from a very broken family, some of us, you know. I pray for families all the time, you know. I pray for families all the time. Because you know why? Family is the nuclear of society. Ne? If we don't get it right from our families, we won't get it right in business, at the workplace, any nation. As a nation, we won't get it right. So we need to make sure that families are in good state. We need families that are united, they work with each other. I've had a prayer. I've always fought with my sister from my childhood, and that trauma haunted me until I went to therapy. We fought so much to a point where when we were young, we would even I would chase her with a knife. I kid you not. Sibling rivalry. That's what you call it, ne? In your terminology, say your fancy English, ne? And it's there. It's there. Siblings, where you fight because this person didn't keep a promise or did something to you or harmed you some way. I've got a scar here, ne? And that scar was caused by my sister. Because she was very naughty, you know, when she was a child. So she spilled tea, like hot tea. So there was a lot of trauma. I only fixed my relationship with my sister 2022. Today, my sister, she talks to me every single day because we have a good relationship. Amen. So Families, family dynamics, family relations. It's important for you to be cordial. Because let me tell you something. One day you're going to have a project that you want to do. You want to start a business. You want to do something. But you can't talk to your family members. You can't talk to your uncle. Can't talk to your brother. Because they think that you are not reliable. Last time they sent you to go buy bread, you didn't come back. You came back at night and you're like, hey, where's the bread? And your face is full of sweets here. And that's the problem about us, that we are not looking at the family dynamics. It's very important. I'm going to rush through these things. So we need to build strong family support structure that is going to help us to become very effective so that we can participate meaningfully in the community, right? So that family structure. Why is it so important for us to create awareness and education? Because it is important for us to raise within our peers, because we want to make sure that we encourage discussions. Because if people don't talk, if we don't have discussions around these things, like today we are having, we're going to lose a lot of men. We know that as it stands, the ratio is women are higher than men. I don't know what are the numbers. But imagine now, some of them, they are gay, they are what, and so we're losing men generally to social orientation alone in prison, And there's an agenda by the devil, by the way. Because I'm in church, I'm safe to say it, right? When I'm in other places in parliament, I can't speak these things. Here in church, I'm going to tell, there's an agenda by the devil of the LGBTIQ+, to make men feminine and make them weak and not know their position in society. I'm on the camera. It's important. It's important for us to address these issues as a church, because we are then seeing that we will not have a generation next time. My 2000 will be the last ones that we see. If we don't address the issues of mental health for men, because men are killing themselves. The rate is what, 62%? I don't know. The last time I checked. They're killing themselves. In Lesotho is bad. We are even better. But Lesotho is nothing, guys. It's a small country. How many people is the population? But what about us here, right? We need to then do such things, right? But what are the things that we could do, to start like from a personal level as men, right? And there are things that are highlighted in red and green and everything. From a personal care point of view, exercise. I'm failing. Healthy eating. I just ate chips from the office. And sleep. I'm horrible at sleep. And my colleagues, they tell me like, sleep. But I'm just sleep. They just like, sleep. Please sleep. I can sleep. Sometimes sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then 6 o'clock I'm up. Literally, because I've got lots of work and demands, right? But I'm going to try, because that's my red flag right there. I will try to sleep. Next time I'll tell you I've got a testimony. I'm sleeping more. Hallelujah. Amen. And, we need to be mindful of this, the stress management techniques. In our group, I'm going to share the techniques that you guys can do in terms of managing stress. And then you guys will share. I'm not going to speak about them. But also importance of having hobbies and interests. Ladies, if you have boyfriends, please allow them to go play soccer. Allow them, yes, please, yeah. Allow them to go and play those arcade games. Because men are like that. Like last week I told you that men are like what? Babies. Oh, you got it. Men are like babies. Babies just want to play, guys. Allow them to play. Men are like that. So allow them to, because when they express themselves through those hobbies, it's exciting for them. And they can play with the boys, they can chill with the boys, not gossip. The whole day, chill with the boys and play something. And they don't even need to do anything fancy, man. They don't even need a lot of money to even have fun. Allow men to do those things. Men are denied these things, but you see, he's always sitting, he's always doing what. That's their way of them, recovering from the pressures and the stress that life comes with, right? 10 things that the church must do. I'm wrapping up there. Number 1, they must create a supportive environment. A church must create counseling sessions for men. Number 2, they must promote mental health awareness. We want to see even pastor wearing a green ribbon, and before sermon it says that I pray that men are healthy or something. Let's do a campaign to help the church to speak about mental health. Literally let it be like a gospel, right? Let it spread. Let it go throughout the whole church. Let it not be about June because it's a mental health. Every day must be mental health awareness day, right? Provide counseling services. The church must create a special place for men. You say, men, every day it's open for you. Come. Yeah. You'll take these tips, my elder, to the church. You'll escalate them. They must develop support groups. Support groups, that's like how you have like home cells. You guys have home cells around your areas. They're dead. Christ is coming back. Okay. The home cell, you don't pray, you don't do, or you wait for Wednesday, the Wednesday prayer one, and you don't log in, because I see the people don't log in there. It will be like 34, like, the whole church of 1,000 people, only 34 people logged in. You guys are cheating Christ, and you're going to pay one day. Number 5, we must encourage physical and spiritual practices. Physical means let the church take the men to go play soccer. And let them go see their heroes at FNB Stadium sometime. Let them do, because they love that. Let them go to a race cart there. Kyalami is here, guys. Hey, you see, let the church create those type of programs. So that men, yes, golf, men's golf, Sandton Men Golf Day. And we also raise funds as well. Huh? Why not? I'm just sharing these ideas with you guys. Training for church leaders. Our leaders need to know how to handle mental health issues. Because when you go to them, this is like, come, let's pray for you. Yes, it's important to pray for people. But after prayer, what are you doing? Yes. You understand? Prayer must be, preceded by something else. Please, let's give prayer and, right? And etc. Number 7, address the social-economic issues. By addressing them, we mean that if there are men in the church that just lost a job because of COVID or something, come on, guys. Let's take these men and say, come paint these walls here, and let's give you 5,000 to do these things. Let's empower men so that they can feel that, my church really loves me. It has happened. And that's what we need to encourage. That's why our church is the best. Right? Number 8, that is a free promo. And we must encourage those open conversations between the ones who are there and the ones who are coming up. Open conversations, it means that we need to have young men who can go and say, not that girl, young shy, what do I do? Like, let it be to that level of conversations with men. And say, elder, this thing, young Phala, it's tough. You know what I'm talking about, elder. And please advise me. You got it. That laugh, it means you got it. Young Phala. And when you create that open conversations, there's no room for mental health. Oh, imagine, guys, I was so sad when to hear that somebody who was with us in the morning at Sabbath during Vesper, she commits suicide. Imagine, guys. That's wrong, guys. It means the church does not do anything to help these people. You can't come to church and still remain the same. What is that? Then church is not a good, safe space. It's a toxic space. That's what we're saying, right? So they must foster that sense of community as a church. Number 10, advocate. By advocating, it means that we do even campaigns as a church to show that we care about society, of losing men in our society. And that's important. So let's chat. What are your experiences? I'm done. Dango. What are your experiences? We are done. We're just now conversing right now. Let's chat about it. What are the experiences that you have had of mental health from home? Maybe you've seen your dad being distant, distancing himself, or you've seen your brother, saying, no, I don't want to talk about it or something? Or what are the experiences that you can raise your hand and let's share those experiences. And then from there, we're going to wrap up very soon. What experiences that you guys have seen? And then now let's then say, maybe we need to come up with this type of a solution for this issue and whatnot and whatnot. What are experiences that you have seen at home? Do you have males at home? Do they cry?
I think I've only seen my dad cry like twice. For my grandma's funeral. And then my brother, he's younger. So I feel, thinking about that now, it tells me that with the younger generation, it's easier, not that it's easy, but it's more easier to express feelings than the older generation, right? And since the older generation are the ones that were raising the younger ones, that's what was imparted, right? Because a couple of years ago, we lost my sister-in-law, my brother's wife passed away. And my dad was like telling my brother, like, stop crying. Like, stop crying. Yeah, like, just like, be strong, like, you know? And I realized that he wasn't doing it in ill, you know what I mean? He wasn't trying to be malicious, but that's what he knows, like, like, you're a man, be strong. So, no, obviously it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, umunna ki nku o lela teng in Sepedi. It means that a man is a what? Sheep. Ne? Cries inside. That's direct translation is wrong. I don't know what to. But it basically just says that as a man you need to bottle things up and not talk about it. And that's wrong. Right? Is there somebody else want to share the experiences from home or everywhere that you have seen men? My leader, maybe you are the one that you have been doing that. Sorry guys, in my sessions I actually push people to talk. Let's hear your thoughts. What have you seen as a way, as something that men do, or yourself do because you're a man, that says that I don't want, I'm having some stress or something like that, I don't want to open up or whatever. What has been your experience that you have seen?
Well, my name is Thabang. Yeah. Well, maybe I can talk for myself because I can't talk for other men. I don't know how they. But one thing that I've seen with me when I'm under pressure and going through a lot in my mind, I develop certain habits that are very, very bad that I regret later on and trying to recover from them, like overeating and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's really yeah. So I think that's the experience that I've had, like struggling to keep on a narrow path, but over time accumulating wrong habits. Yeah, no.
I mean, some of those things that men develop, those wrong habits that you are mentioning, like smoking is a wrong habit, bad habit. Drinking, bad habit. And and don't be shy because you think that our church doesn't. Some of the church members, they do. You see them in the corners. And they're afraid because it's tough, because things are just going a lot. There's a lot that is happening in their lives, right? But I've always known that women always harm themselves. They do self-harm when they go through. They cut themselves and stuff. I don't know. That one is a demon. I'm gonna pray for it. That one, but that one is a demon. Blood. No. You must not like blood, please. A very used to blood. Oh yeah. You're onto something. We must do a thesis on that. But like it fascinates me a lot that blood is crucial. When we see blood, some of us, but we as men now, it was interesting to hear you say that you were overeating. Wow, that's interesting. So we then now need to talk about those techniques, the ways in order for us to deal with those stresses. When we are at that moment, why don't we counter overeating with something? Keep ourselves to something. Remember, not the Bible, there's a term that is and people say that the Bible says that a devil's, what? an idle mind is a devil's workshop. It's not a Bible scripture, ne? It's not. It's just a term that we use in society. But when your mind is idling, is not occupied with something productive, it's easy for it. It's receptive of things that can be very harmful to even the body, not the mind only. I'm speaking like a development practitioner now. Ne? It's fundegile, some of us, we've got certificates. Ne? So the thing is that, human beings have this thing of relaxation where the mind just wants to stop doing everything. Ne? And immediately when it gets to that point, ne, that's where the devil comes. We call it the devil. But it's serious issues that are happening, that anything that where it finds the mind is not occupied with something productive, anything negative comes in, and then you can develop a habit. And in human development studies, we then say that a habit is developed in 21 days. And you can lose a habit in 21 days. And in 28 days, you can develop a new habit. So if you want to quit smoking, you can quit smoking in 21 days. But at the 28th day, you have to replace it with something else new, so that you can now get into a new habit. It's possible. Something interesting. My mom used to smoke, sniff, ne? That thing is more addictive than anything else, ne? But my mom took a decision one day that I quit this thing. And it's all in the brain, that she just decided that today I quit sniff. Done. Ne? But not everyone is like that, right? So now you need to put a person onto a program, 7, 14, 21 days, and then once they have now quit in 21 days, maybe they've reduced the intake of whatever thing that they are taking, then in 28 days, they are operating into a new habit, right? You guys don't get these things in, ne? You must clap hands because it's free information. You don't get it in church. It's developmental studies of human beings, right? And it's social sciences. So you need to understand that even if you want to quit that habit of saying, when I'm in stress, let me eat a lot, let me occupy myself with food, I'm always going to the fridge, then maybe you must now find a way of somebody locking the fridge with a key, so that when it's there, like, man, this fridge, and then you go, let me just go watch soccer something, or go out or do something, right? Something that I was share, from a past toxic relationship that I had, is that every time I felt that we're getting to a point where we're going to fight, I wanted to leave the house. I wanted to leave. Because I knew that if I leave the house, I'm going to meet with my boys, and we're going to play, we're going to make noise, sing, or do something, And so you need to live in an environment where it allows you to leave, exit, get out, like you were saying, my elder, leave the house and do something different, new. Also something very important if you want to, get over a habit. Do something new. Go bowling, Go do something, horse riding. Do something, When I used to have money, I knew that two times a year I go to Cape Town alone. It's something that I hear, but now the Ramaphosa's economy has suffered us, So I used to have that habit, like, I just want to go and unwind, like, hey. But develop new habits and new hobbies, like I've mentioned earlier on, right? Anyone wants to say something? From a lady's perspective as well. Yes, you want to say something?
Okay. Don't say I'm hijacking the whole men's mental health thing. But it's actually a conversation I was having with someone earlier on right today, a man. And he was saying that, so as I mentioned, I woke up at 4 a.m. today and we were working. So we were talking about that, and he was like, he's so stressed. And like, as a man, you just get so stressed, and you're just saying all that. And it got me thinking that I think in today's world, yes, it's a man thing, whatever, but everything you were listing there, I can relate to it too, right? And the reason about that, and I think now, because before there was masculinity and there was men, and they were synonymous with one another, right? Whereas now you get women having to be masculine as well, right? So everything that a man goes through, or most things at least, mental health-wise that a man goes through, is the things also that a woman who's forced to be masculine goes through too, which is a lot of single women And I mean single in terms of being financially single, everything is looking at you. The same way as a man, you know, you get a lot of woman-headed households today. You know, you get a lot of my peers at work that are paying black tax and all of that stuff. It's all on them, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it's called. It's all on them that my brother, my sisters need to eat, they need to go to school, you know? So she's facing the exact same stress that the next man is facing, you know? That masculine energy that she has to inherit, you know? So this is the thing, we're only saying capitalism robbed us as women of the 21st century of our femininity, right? So that's that. And then the second part, oh, okay. Now the second part I wanted to say is last week I attended the parent, yes. And what I got from there is that, so they were saying that what the teenagers are having a problem with or whatever. And a lot of the parents were just very defensive. Like, we don't, like, you know. And I feel like, and I feel like what I was saying earlier on when I was making an example about my dad and my brother, that then we end up getting that going into the world as young people, right? So men and women, that you're not heard, you know what I mean? So what you're saying about the family that it starts at home. If from home you're not to talk about your feelings, if at home you're never heard, if at home you don't know how to have healthy emotional stability, how are you going to be able to deal with that when you're alone in the world today, you know? And that's then what ends up breeding all these emotional and mental issues of depression and all those things. So yeah, it starts in the home.
You know, briefly last week I had spoken about that in leadership we have a wrong leadership style in South Africa or even Africa. We have like a top-down approach. We don't have like a bottom-up approach. And a bottom-up approach and a peer-to-peer mechanism of learning helps a lot of teenagers that you have mentioning to now be able to say, this is how I want to be treated. Let's get to that level where you understand how I want to be treated as a child. You know, and parents are like, we've been here for so long. Who are you? Just came here 2 minutes ago. And I think there's a lot of issues that we need to be dealing with, and we need to be training. We need programs, my elder, we need programs on parents on how to parent in 2000. Hashtag 2000 parenthood, something like that. Like, I don't know. We need a program on that. You know, how to... seminars. You see, usually seminars, like now you hear, symposiums to parents. Oh, okay. You need a one where it's both in the room. Yes. And then they say from their heart.
Thank you so much, my leader. And my apologies for being late. I wanted to do the decent thing and not speak when you are late, but I could not. I was burning too much. And I'm sorry if I will say something that has already been said. So I think one challenge that we're facing with men and boys today is we are lacking mental strength. So most of us do not have the right amount of strength to deal with common challenges of life. So you find things which are day-to-day, things like illness in the family, unemployment, failure, destroying our boys because they don't have the mental fortitude to deal with these things. And I think drawing on the work of great philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, he talks of negative visualization, and he gives us a tool to use to be able to cope with hardship when it comes. So at any point, you must be able to visualize the worst thing happening and then accept that before it happens, so that when it then happens, you are ready for it. So if you are loving someone, accept that that love may be unreciprocated, or that person may fall out of love with you, or that person may die, and already create coping strategies for the worst case scenario. And then when it then happens, then you're able to deal with it. So I think having a framework to draw on to build your mental strength is very important. One tool that I found is Stoicism. I've read a lot about Stoics because they are the masters of mental strength. You look at everyone in the world who's talking about building men's health. Of course, most of them are on the extreme. So for so long, the world has been gyrocentric, focusing on women alone, and men have been neglected. And then you find guys now, extreme groups like the Red Pew, your Andrew Tate. I know he loves Andrew Tate. so he's like, careful now. So I'll be very careful what I say about him. Your Kobe Samuels, you're asking older men. So these are guys who are coming up now on the extreme side, on the Red Pew, on the extreme side. But they're trying to address a very fundamental challenge, which is that men have been neglected for some time. And as a church, if we do not give men a framework to use, they'll struggle. In closing, I just want to talk about Stoicism. Stoicism gives one of its frameworks, it's called the trichotomy of control. So it's things that are within your control, things that are not within your control, things that are partially within your control. And with Stoicism, whenever you face a challenge, you are able to look at it and say, okay, is this within my control? If not, then I'm not going to worry about it. If it is within my control, then I act on it. Then if it's partially within my control, then I act on it to the extent that I can. Then I leave it beyond that. And I think having frameworks like that, which work for men, is best. What we're finding now, slowly, is some of the interventions that are being done are trying to make men more effeminate. So you find talk therapy works, but not for men fully. Men need to solve a problem. If I'm unemployed and have nothing to bring to my family, I can go talk to him as much as I want. It won't make me feel better as a man fully until I have a tool to provide, to feed my family. So when you have frameworks that builds men's resilience, men's mental fortitude, mental strength, then you are able to address men properly. Thank you.
Hey. Speaker for another one, eh? You heard, yeah. I get you speakers. Hey, guys. Yeah. You guys. And the church does not have the frameworks. They haven't developed the frameworks. And that's what we're speaking about on that slide, that, the church needs to develop these things. Right, in order for men to have that mental fortitude, right? It's a lot, but we won't finish if we speak. My leader wants to speak there. Brahos, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm actually moved. So, talking about the church, we need to, maybe the church needs to define and redefine, first of all, what is a man? And then second of all, we define mental health. Because there are so many layers and levels to mental health. For example, mental health issue can be a demonic attack. That's where you need to karabashanda, and then the issue gets sorted out. So somewhere mental health is an issue of chemical imbalances. So you need medication. So sometimes you can take Yes. You take medication and then you also do the prayer. And then somewhere the issue is not actually psychological, it's actually psychiatrical. So in psychiatry, it's heavy things there. And then after someone, you may think that they need counseling, where they can go to a psychologist to find that actually they need a psychiatrist to diagnose them properly, to say what is it that actually they really need. And so mental health, it's a serious thing. And also what you mentioned about the church having programs whereby counseling for people. And also it shouldn't only be from scriptural perspective. It also has to be from economy. And also I'm happy that the devilish agenda which is out there to really destroy men. So here's a fact from me, is that it's hard being a woman, but it's harder being a man. So we need to really understand. That's why if you look at statistics, you don't find many men in church. Do you know why? church also with the music, the preaching, the nice things that have been said in church. Yeah, it brings an environment of vulnerability and all that. It's easy to cry in church and all that. But men are really focused. You get what I'm saying? That's what he was saying. We're really orientated on solving issues. So in church, when you come and they say, give you a hug, a high five and all that, it may not really be solving the issues. Because, okay, here's the fact about South Africa. Ne? The country is collectively depressed. But then, then there is individual depression. Because if somebody gets divorced, that's a direct depression on them. So, but generally, those of us who are outside and desire to marry, we say, why are marriages not working? So we get affected as that. And let me tell you, what he was saying, actually, the session with him should only be men. Because there will be serious matters that will be dissected there. But I'm really glad to be here and to support you and the rest of the church. Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, guys. All right, let me cut it, guys. It's out. Thank you very much. My leader, over to you. There's a lot you heard that needs to be spoken. I just want to thank each and everyone who was here. Oh, you want to clap hands? Clap hands. And then, and let's continue. Let this be a 366 days a year thing. Let's talk about it. Let's not talk about it because we are running a June month program. Let it continue and let's have this conversation. My leader, it will be very great to have that elder of ours coming to present to us, and we'll really have that, we'll enjoy that discussion and it sounds very philosophical as well from looking at the frameworks that we need to be developing. Maybe he can share some of those things. We can maybe get somebody who are not even part of our church to come and teach us about some of these things because I think we will learn a lot from that. Thank you so much, my leader. Thank you, Enkosi Bantu Bayagiti.